Hey there, welcome to Unmolding Science. Today, we're going to be answering one simple: do plants have ears? Okay, maybe it's a little bit more complicated than that. Can plants really hear the world around them? There's this wonderful paper called Are We All Ears? Plants perceive sound waves as early as 1 millisecond after touch, published in the journal Frontiers in Plant Science back in 2020. The authors of this paper put forward the idea that it's not just animals that can perceive their environment auditorily. Their abstract starts with a quote: "The ability to perceive and respond to sound is generally thought to be restricted to animals." End quote. But then goes on to say, quote, "However, mounting evidence indicates that plants can perceive airborne sound waves. And this is the first time ever that scientists have actually recorded the electrical activity in a plant in response to sound. We've known for a while now that plants can respond to sound. Back in 1950, it was found that maize seedlings grew towards a speaker emitting a tone at 40 Hz. It's also been shown that even seeds in the genus Arabidopsis thaliana could actually hear the difference between a high and low frequency tone. In 2013, a study found that if you played a recording of a caterpillar munching on a leaf near a sensitive area of a tomato plant, the plant would produce more of a defensive chemical called nicotine. There are also studies showing that music can influence plant growth. Some of those show positive effects, and some of those show negative effects. But that's probably more a result of how loud the music was rather than any effect of the music itself. So yes, plants can hear things. But how do we know that what they're doing is actually because they heard something? How do we know they aren't just responding to some kind of vibration or movement? Well, this study was designed to get to the bottom of exactly that. The researchers grew their plants in a pot without soil and placed them in a water bath to reduce vibrations from the water bath and from the airflow in the growth chamber. They then poked the roots of the plant very gently once every second and recorded the electrical activity in the roots, which gives us an indication of how the plant responded to being touched. This electrical signal is normally triggered by a stimulus like touch and is called a System 1 response. When they started playing a sound 1 second before they poked the roots, the electrical response to the poke was reduced by 27%. When they delayed the sound so that it was 10 seconds after the root was poked, the electrical response went back up to normal. The electrical response was also reduced if they used a loudspeaker to play the sound right next to the roots compared to if the speaker was all the way across the plant. These results suggest that the plant isn't just responding to the physical vibrations caused by the speaker, otherwise the response would be the same whether the speaker was nearby or far away. It's also not responding to some chemical produced by the speaker. Otherwise, putting the speaker far away would reduce the response since the chemical would have more time to dissipate. So they concluded that plants can indeed hear sounds and can do so within 1 millisecond of the sound reaching the roots. This study was done with thale cress, but the researchers did find similar responses in other types of plants like petunias and even an aquatic plant. So this isn't just something unique to thale cress, and they also looked at how long these effects lasted and found that the plants were still responding after 24 hours. But after 48 hours, the effect disappeared. So why do plants need to be able to hear? Well, this paper doesn't go into it. I mean, they don't have ears, so they can't hear anything particularly directional. I imagine it would be pretty hard to evolve ears later in your life cycle once you're already a rooted plant. So maybe they're hearing in more of a general sense, like they can feel the vibrations of the air around them. And why would they want to do that? Well, the authors speculate that maybe the plant could hear dangerous herbivores munching on leaves nearby and then move their roots out of the way. Maybe they can hear when it's about to rain, so they can orient the leaves to catch the most amount of falling water. Or maybe they can hear the rumble of a nearby volcano and then drop their roots down deeper to escape the lava. So what can we take away from this study? I think it's a powerful reminder that just because an idea seems crazy it doesn't mean it's not true. Science thrives on curiosity and the willingness to question what we think we already know. It's the only way we'll ever uncover these truly amazing things. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the secret life of plants, you'll love my other videos on fascinating science and math topics. Be sure to check out the playlist link below and subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure. And a huge thank you to everyone who supports this channel through my merch store. Your help makes it possible to keep exploring these weird and wonderful ideas with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.